Web3 TV.
AI will not take 50% of jobs. AI will take 50% of tasks, of 100% of jobs.
Deepfakes.
Yes.
Being unable to distinguish between reality and fakes.
Yeah.
We may be in a simulation.
Yeah.
Do you ever have concerns about that? We feed these AI with lots of information of our own. Now, what do they do with this data?
This is one of the most important critical questions when it comes to risks.
Welcome back to another episode of the Traders Brawl podcast. I'm Adel, your host. Thank you for staying with us. We have a very special guest with us, Alaa, who is an AI expert, which I'm about to introduce in a second. But for those who are watching, thanks for staying with us. For those who are new, welcome to the channel. We are here to bring in every week, we bring in a new guest speaker to speak about their tech entrepreneurship, what they're building in AI, Web3, and even fitness, to bring in how they manage fitness with financial freedom, which are my passions. Now, in today's podcast, we're going to be focusing on the fears of AI. And without further ado, let's bring on to the podcast arena, Alaa. How are you doing today?
All good. Thank you for having me. Excited to be with you.
My pleasure. We've met many times.
Yes.
On the street, because we walk the
Walking
dogs.
our dogs.
And I know I've seen you're very active on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I thought this would be a great opportunity to get you on a podcast and talking about the fears of AI.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Before we start, I want to read to the audience your short bio. So today we are joined by a true luminary in the AI realm, Adel. He's the managing director of Cognite DX. Alaa has spent over 18 years advising C-suite executives across both public and private sectors on leveraging emerging technologies for transformative growth, and he delivers keynote speeches across the AI space. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So while we're on the topic, let's dive straight in. What are some of the practical fears you share about AI?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm an optimistic person. In general, I'm optimistic by design, and this also applies to my positions on AI. That said, it does not mean that I'm oblivious to the actual risks of AI, and I'm not unempathetic to people's fears and concerns about AI. So I acknowledge them, and I debate them or argue against them, let's say.
Right.
So when we talk about the practical and short-term fears, most people are worried about fake news, about AI tools being used to put your face in some situation, on some photo, in some video, or to impersonate your voice to trick your family or your friends, or to use your likeness and your persona in any shape or form. And these are no longer the material of science fiction. I mean, these are current AI capabilities that we started seeing and that will be perfected and start being more and more serious and dangerous in the coming few months.
Wow. Okay, so we both agree that there are some practical fears, and we know with the advancement of AI, it's advancing at a rate that's very fast, but it's also leading to some concerns.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the concerns I share personally, like you said, the likeness, is jobs.
Yeah.
How will humans continue to stay relevant in a world where everything can be done by AI?
Yeah. Well, I get this question more than any other question, Adel, and I've delivered a keynote in the AI Assembly, the Dubai AI Week, a couple of weeks ago, titled, "Will AI Take My Job?"
Yes.
So it's a 45 minutes keynote. I'm not going to bore you with it entirely, but here are the key takeaways. Every time in history that a new technology came along, it killed some jobs, but it inevitably ended up creating more jobs than it killed.
Okay.
So the net was always positive, right? The problem is in the transition period between generations, while people are losing their jobs, and then the generation after them are picking new jobs that will not be killed by technology. What do you do with this generational transition? The answer is a combination of two things. One, upskilling and reskilling for those who can be upskilled, and for those who cannot, we have to have some kind of a social safety net like a UBI or something else to take care of them as they approach retirement.
Interesting. You mentioned UBI. For those who may not be very familiar, what does that stand for?
Yeah, so I'm talking about universal basic income. This is a concept that is being tried in Canada, in Scandinavia, and the idea is giving every single citizen a fixed amount of money per month that supports the minimum living needs.
Right.
Okay, so eating, drinking, shelter, security, schooling.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and beyond that, it becomes only a matter of how much more do you want to achieve, and that's left to the personal innovation, the personal drive, and the personal entrepreneurship of each and every individual.
Right. Okay, so UBI. Now, in that case, even to get a UBI, and if you're so dependent on, well, let's say your job is no longer giving you that UBI, what would be some alternatives to get a UBI?
Well, the goal is not to count on UBI. So the idea is we want the majority, in every economy, in every society, you want the majority of people to be productive, right? Now, obviously, we have to acknowledge that some people, for many reasons, physical or age or health or mental, cannot be productive in the workforce. And it's those people that programs like UBIs are designed for. And especially, this is more pronounced in times of technological shifts, like the AI era that is upon us now. This will accelerate disruption of jobs, and you will find that people in their careers will be two different groups. Some can be reskilled and should be reskilled and upskilled to join the new AI era, and some would be towards the end of their career or don't have the physical or the mental traits that allows them to be upskilled, and for those should not be left behind, and that's why UBI is designed. But I don't want to focus a lot on UBI. I want to address the more practical question that you asked,
yes,
which is when people ask, will AI take my job?
Yes.
I always have a correction for that. AI will not take 50% of jobs. AI will take 50% of tasks of 100% of jobs, and especially office jobs. And it will be those tasks that you don't want to do, the repeatable tasks, the automatable tasks, the soul-crushing tasks. Every office worker knows, Adel, that sometimes we spend a lot of hours in our working day doing things we don't like to do. Filing forms, doing admin work. All of this will be outsourced to your AI assistant,
right,
and you will be unchained and released and free to do the parts that you love about your job, Adel. The innovation part, the creativity part, the imagination part, the higher order planning, the multi-step thinking, the human interaction part of the job. This is what AI will allow us to do.
Interesting. Okay, I like that. So the creativity side of things, you still don't concede that maybe AI could develop those creativity side as well. For example, art. We had a little conversation about creating billion pieces of art in 1 second, which an AI can do and a human cannot.
Yeah.
Does that not concern you?
It doesn't concern me.
No.
Because, if you go and buy a bag that is mass-produced you'll pay a certain amount of money. But if that bag is handmade, and by hand I mean human handmade, you will pay more for it. People still attribute a high value for things and products and services that are human-made. And we've seen this before. When the age of the machine came upon us in the last 2 centuries, and mass production came to, invade our lives. Still, everything that is handmade, we still pay more money for. Now, AI, this is the same, but for fruits of the brain rather than fruit of the hand. And I think people will still attribute higher value to something that is a human brain made and human imagination made rather than AI made or machine made.
Interesting. Okay. Now, moving on to data privacy. So we know we feed these AI with lots of information of our own, asking the AI to do this for me, asking the AI to scan my emails and then prioritize the top priority ones. Now, what do they do with this data? This is the question I have, because I think many of us have.
This is one of the most important critical questions when it comes to risks. First of all, with or without AI, sharing data that you should not be sharing is not advisable, especially when we're talking about children, especially when we talk about things that are very personal or very intimate. Now, you can't stop people from sharing everything because we've gotten used to have all these digital services given to us on social media, on our mobile, on our platform, and these depend on us sharing information about us. It's getting the balance between how much we share to keep these services customized to us and useful for us, and how much is too much and we're jeopardizing our own privacy. Now, add AI to this mix, and this concern is augmented because now we don't have just algorithms collecting our data. You have AI tools that can now collect your data or leverage your data. The guiding principle will still be the same. Only divulge to those tools the amount of information about your work or about your day-to-day activity that allow these tools to be useful to you, that allow them to be your personal assistant, your digital assistant for work or for life. And I wouldn't advise to share intimate information or family information or personal information.
I see. So your response is to not give the AI too much about yourself.
I agree.
Even if it's like a task, like your job depends on it. That your job depends on you feeding it about what you're doing in order to get the output that you want.
Yeah.
That's kind of a catch-22 because say you're a content creator and you want to talk about, hey, I really want to talk about a certain thing, talk about a certain podcast, for example. I want to generate certain questions, but I want it to be intimate. I want it to be this and that. How can I generate the best questions? Okay, this is a very high-level example.
Yes.
But another example could be, I have a XYZ in my house. How can I sell it?
Yes.
Oh, now you explain to the AI you have this thing in your house,
Yes.
and you wish to sell it. Are the people around the world now aware that you have this in your house?
Yes. So first of all, these are two excellent examples, and people have different tolerances for different risks. So the answer to this is mostly personal. I'll tell you my point of view on it. I don't mind sharing with my personal assistant, Layla, who you've met before, my style of delivery or my voice or my tone. So I do share the way I like to explain technology concepts or business concepts. Yes. And I do share with my AI assistant my previous blogs or articles and ask her to create new ideas within the same concept, within the same tone of voice, within the same style, my style. I think this is a good use of AI. What I wouldn't be sharing with my AI is information about my family, information about kids. I mean, I don't have kids, but for those who do, sensitive information that are that intimate. Now, your second example is products in your house. Again, it depends how interested you are in receiving targeted ads that are relevant to you. If you share information about I have this TV in my house I'm planning to sell, or I have this iPad I'm planning to sell, you will get connected better with potential buyers on these platforms. Now, it's up to you to weigh the benefit of being connected and being served quickly versus the risk of, telling people, could be malicious actors, what you have and you don't have at home. So it's a personal preference.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we don't have a direct solution, but I guess the one thing is to just switch it off. But again, if you're dependent on it helping you with your job, it becomes a catch-22.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And listen, I'm all for using your AI as an assistant.
Right.
And the key word here is assistant. AI will never replace you. AI will co-create with you. It will support you doing your work.
Right. Okay, but now let's delve into a bit about deepfakes.
Yes.
Being unable to distinguish between reality and fakes.
Yeah.
Which is making certain people, believe that we may be in a simulation.
Yeah.
Do you ever have concerns about that? Are we in a simulation?
Well, I think about that.
Yeah?
It doesn't concern me. I don't have fear of being in a simulation.
Okay.
Because whether we are in a simulation or not, we're going to enjoy the ride, Adel. but I see your point when you say we're living in an age where, can we still say that seeing is believing? Is seeing still believing in the age of deep fakes abundant all over the internet?
Right.
And that's a very valid concern. And this is a concern that should be addressed by companies that are making these AI that allow deepfakes to happen, but most importantly by governments and by regulators. Because when you put in place a regulatory platform that talks clearly about what should and should not be done with AI tools, one of the first things that you address is the use of deepfakes. I'll give you an example. Some government regulations now around the world are forcing any company that builds an AI tool that can be used to produce a face or an image or a video or an avatar to embed a watermark in it that clearly states that this was made using AI. Okay? So basically, a combination of good regulation and good technology, like AI itself. We can now build AI tools that can tell you whether this AI video is fake or real. We can build AI tools to detect fakes produced by other AI tools. A combination of good, sensible regulation with using AI for good and fighting bad AI with good AI, I think, is the solution for deepfakes.
Interesting. So the solution is using AI to fight against other bad AIs.
Yeah, fight fire with fire.
It's very interesting because, when you're doing something like this, let's take it into the trading realm.
Yeah.
Okay, trading dimension, because I trade sometimes on crypto and on stocks. Will we be in a situation where my AI bot will trade with other AI bots, buy and sell? Because that's the only way. There's only two options. You either buy, you hold, or you sell.
Yeah.
So if I'm giving all my delegation to my AI bot to do it for me, will AI trade with other AIs?
Absolutely.
Do you see that?
Yes, of course. I see humans trading with AIs. I see AIs trading with AIs, and I say humans trading with humans. This is the new world that will be that we're walking in, which is there's a term in the technical circle and the engineering circle that everybody is talking about, that is the next big thing, Adel.
Right.
It's A to A. That's agent to agent.
Right.
And when we talk about agents, I mean, you're a media guy, we're not talking about your media agent, we're talking about AI agents. So what are AI agents? An AI agent is an AI that can do stuff rather than AI that can say stuff. Today, if you talk to your ChatGPT can design an itinerary for your next trip to Greece.
Right.
But an agent is an AI that can actually go and book your tickets on Emirates, or book your hotel in Athens, book your transportation, your bus tickets, your restaurants, your museums, book everything for you. So an AI that can walk the walk rather than an AI that can talk the talk.
Okay.
That's agents. And this is what everybody is buzzing about right now.
Right.
We're still at the infancy of agentic AI, but it's approaching very soon. And when it does, you will have three forms of interactions: human to human, human to agent, and agent to agent.
Wow.
So yes, you could definitely see next year an agent trading on your behalf with other agents.
I want to get Alaa's opinion on this,
Yes.
your personal.
Yes.
Are you comfortable having an AI agent made out of you? I'm guessing you feed the information first,
Yeah.
then it becomes your AI agent, your AI assistant. Are you comfortable with this?
So what you're talking about is not only an agent, it's more evolved. What you're talking about is an avatar
Yes.
and an agent fused together.
Yes.
Because to make it clear to our viewers, an agent doesn't have to have all of Alaa's personality or
Okay,
skills.
okay.
An agent could have different skills. You could build an AI agent to just go and fill forms for you,
Okay.
and apply for visas for you, or
Okay.
book tickets for you, or order pizza for you. It doesn't have to have all of your skills and your personalities. Now, when you talk about an avatar, this is an avatar that will have your tone of voice, your style of delivery,
Yes.
your likeness, your persona. We started seeing this
Yes.
on platforms like HeyGen.
Yes.
And the more you train it and the more you feed it, the more realistic it will be. There's a interview where the founder of Netflix had an interview with an avatar version of himself, Reed Hastings. So go watch this interview,
Right.
and you couldn't tell who is who. Okay, so let's go back to your original question. Would I be comfortable in creating an avatar of myself? My personal answer is yes.
Yes.
But I don't impose my answer on other people. I wouldn't mind at all to have another version, an avatar version of me, filling in the spots and the bookings that I can't do, Adel. There's only one of me, and I've been booked almost every day and every week since Jan, and this extends till end of May. Maybe the summer will slow down a little bit, but if you tell me, now I have an avatar that can take all the keynotes that I can't take because I can't be in two places at the same time, bring it on.
You would be happy with that?
Bring it on.
Wow, but what if it says something that you don't agree with?
That's a risk. That's a risk. The key to this is train it, and make sure that it doesn't go outside of the guardrails where you want.
Understood, but
Is there, can you guarantee 100% that it will not say anything? No, you cannot guarantee 100%.
understood. But see, I'm going to design a situation right now off of what you just said. Let's say one of the keynote speeches is not done by you, but you trained an AI to do it for you.
Yes.
You said something that was maybe outlandish, and now you want to correct that.
Yes.
Now you coming out on the internet saying, I did not mean this, I meant this instead.
Yes.
The audience now are left with two opinions.
Yes.
Do I believe this Alaa or do I believe that Alaa?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is also a problem
Yes.
without AI and without avatar. Sometimes media personalities say things and then they retract it or they correct the record.
Yeah, but how will you retract it now?
Yeah, well, you go on stage and you say, sorry guys, my avatar messed up.
Oh my God.
Now, again, is there a amount of risk involved in this? Definitely there is. And now it's up to your risk tolerance. I have a little bit more appetite for risk than the average person. I'm not a daredevil. What I would do is I would pilot my avatar to do keynotes first in some controlled environment. And after I've seen it performing 5 or 6 or 10 times in a controlled environment, then I'll be comfortable licensing it or releasing it to go do a keynote for me in Singapore or in LA or in Bombay or in,
But you run the risk that other AIs can simply replicate this exact personality of you, create a TikTok account, create multiple videos, and that can happen.
Yes, that can happen. But now it's not a question of, am I comfortable of giving my likeness to my avatar? Now it's a problem of intellectual property and copyright. And this is a big question in the age of AI as well. How do we keep copyright and likeness and IP in the age of AI? It reminds me of a fun episode of Black Mirror.
Of course.
Drone is awful. It's one of the best episodes. And in it, the main protagonist goes about her day, goes to work, goes back home. And every time she goes back home, she turns on Netflix. And she's watching an episode about
her.
Exactly what happened with her during that day. Played with by a famous actress, Salma Hayek.
I remember.
And it wasn't her, but it was exactly what's happening with her. So I mean, watch that episode. I don't want to spoil it for people.
I've seen it.
But yes, we need to revisit copyright laws and IP laws and likeness and persona laws and regulations in the age of AI. I bet you that lawyers are very busy all around the world. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what's what, but I bet these guys are very busy.
Okay. As we wrap up this podcast, this has been very insightful. Would you summarize this last point you made as, even if you don't have any fears, would this be on the top priority of fears? The intellectual property, solving that for each person.
Yes, it would be one of my main areas of concerns. Yeah, people should take seriously IP and copyright and likeness in the age of AI.
Okay, wonderful. Alaa, it's been a very good podcast. I really thank you for your time. I learned a lot.
Pleasure.
And it's good to see what you personally, I asked you from your practical point of view and then your personal point of view. And it's good to see what Alaa really truly thinks as an expert. I know you have your keynote face and then you have your personal. I wanted to know that, and for me, the biggest takeaway is the IP, like you said. And
absolutely.
I hope lawyers find a solution to it.
They will, man. And I would wrap with the biggest fears of all. I mean, when we were chatting before this, you said, would it be more likely that AI will rise and kill us all, or that a swarm of intelligent toasters will occupy Earth? Super clever. Well, this is not an unserious question. People actually have fears about AI rising and taking over the world. And again, even though I'm more on the optimistic side, I would be with Jan LeCun and on this, which is, no, we will be always able to control AI with AI. But I acknowledge people's fears. And there are 3 levels. Okay, so Elon Musk said the worst level is that AI will just decide to kill us all, like humans decided to genocide other species in the past, right? The second, lesser risk, but still high, is they treat us like we treat ants or chimpanzees, right? We don't go out of our way to the jungles to kill chimpanzees, but sometimes we hunt them and we put them in cages. Or if we're walking to work, you don't go out of your way to step on an ant village, but if you stepped on one inadvertently, you keep walking. So Elon Musk said this could be one of the risks, that AI, kill us inadvertently because they don't care. And the third and least risk is they treat us like we treat our pets. like you treat marshmallow and chai, like I treat toffee. We take care of them, we bathe them, we feed them, we love them, but they don't call the shots. We call the shots. So there's a fear that AI treat us like pets. And to counter all of these possibilities that I personally still think they are low but non-zero, people like Yuval Harari and Elon Musk think that we should fuse with AI, that we should become AI. And there's ways to do this using something like Neuralink. And when we do that, if we do that, then human gets an extra I in the middle and becomes humane with an AI.
Interesting. Wow, we'll leave it there. It's a great cliffhanger to leave it. And I think we should have you for a second round. Because we could talk forever on
this.
Could
talk to you for hours, man.
But it's been very insightful. I want to say thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All right, then. That's a wrap. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you found this insightful. We will leave all the links in the description so you can check out Alaa's profile. His LinkedIn and Instagram page will be here. Thank you again for watching. I hope you found this insightful, and I will see you next time. Cheers.
Web3 TV